Welcome to the One Harvest Podcast. We got myself and Kyle as the host. We got Dylan from Black Sheep Genetics. Super stoked to have you. We also got a full house today. We got Jason the Caveman. We got Rio. And we got my man right here, Forrest. And we're about to just chat it up and let you all know some game on some herb. So, Dylan, appreciate you being here, man. Thank you so much.
Respect, yeah. I really like you guys, what you're doing, and all the magic we're spreading around.
Let's go.
We brought a crew. We said we got to change the dynamics of the podcast a little bit.
I love it. More the merrier.
Yeah, people talk about terroir a lot, and they love to mention the sky and the dirt, but it's also the friends and the gardeners that we share our tips and tricks with.
It's the whole vibe.
We're all from different walks of life, but we get along with friends, and it's bomb to come here and sesh and just talk with you guys too, and take it to the next level. So,
how was your season?
Man, my most amazing season I've ever had outside in my life. I overhead watered with a big rainbird, like you see in
overhead water.
Yeah, just one big main line, 1-inch hose and a thumper pump.
Really?
And I watered.
You got me thinking, bro.
All right. The catch was, I'm like, I would love to say that I can wake up every day before the sun rises and hand water, but not really that likely.
Yeah.
In respect, I got one of the shitty analog timers with the 15 minutes, and you track the sunrise, and I put it on in the morning before it rose, and you water the entire patch. So it's not just the plants. I noticed a big difference of that was the gophers. And when you're watering the whole square footage, they don't give a shit. They got food everywhere. As soon as, in the last 3 weeks, I watered up to the end with that overhead. And then when PM, they're getting real dense, you got to hand water in. So when I was hand watering in, I seen the gophers fucking attack. Where I was like, oh yeah, like there it is. Now they've been deprived a little bit. They're going to go to town. I'm anti-prison plants for taproots. I know some people put the cages in, but I have gopher trails go under the garden, under the mains.
You get the family of gophers.
You watering in the gopher hole, that shit's popping up 20 feet down the patch. I watched The Cat in the Hat, and they went into a fucking gopher hole, and they were like tripping out. Thing 1 and thing 2 jump out of the Thinkmobile or whatever it is.
Oh, that's interesting.
The thingamajiggy.
That's good with the gophers. I was just learning that to rehabilitate Mount St. Helens from the volcano explosion and all the die-off of the vegetations, they found that they brought in thousands of gophers, and the gophers helped to recultivate that mountain.
Aerate the soil.
And I agree with what you're saying. As long as the gopher doesn't kill the plants when they're little, they're definitely improving the quality of the ground. And
thus what thing 1 and thing 2 said, they were tripping out, the roots were sticking out of the gopher hole, they were inside the hole, and the Cat in the Hat said, see, the gophers help aerate the roots deliver water to the trees.
That's exactly right.
Boom.
Yeah. And so basically what we're saying is don't ever put poisons into your ground.
No.
Don't kill the gophers. Stop.
Right.
Gophers.
Pro gopher.
Gophers are our friends.
I like what Dylan was saying was about watering the whole area so the gophers have a free access to more area than just right around your roots.
Just the pot.
Because that way they can dig quicker throughout other areas and not bother the roots of your plants.
So true.
Real talk with that. The weeds and all the other plants, there was some things that were magic in there, mullein, flowers. They got out of control. And my weed whacker was down. And I weed whacked like a quarter of the garden. And I was like, shit, this is fucking crazy. It's like guerrilla
jungle.
Wild jungle.
Yeah.
And then I didn't get my weed whacker fixed. And the bindweed's a real pain in the ass. And it loves to be powdery mildew. But when your plants are healthy, the bindweed can have the mildew on it and the plants don't. So I'm not necessarily anti-bindweed, but you're always ripping this shit out. It spirals up, it crawls. It grabbed all the weeds and pulled them down and made like a mat. So it flattened the grass. It grew around some cages that I had, ornamental. It made the cages all flowery.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I need to put like a
big
cool
vibes.
sculpture in there and just fucking bindweed.
Put a statue in
there.
there?
Yeah, bindweed fucking creatures. So we got
Who you brought here? Yeah.
3 of the homies, all been my friends, all have their unique place in this cannabis multiverse. Jason, a legend. He lives by Sasquatch. He lives in a cave.
But the most important part is growing food
Thank you. Everybody eats.
and knowing where your water comes from and having good relations with your neighbors.
Facts.
And then we got Rio.
And then when we start working together, we get this kind of thing.
this
There we
kind
go.
of thing.
We get
Love
this
it.
kind of thing right here.
Yes.
It's good to be here with all you guys.
Rio
Yeah.
Pally, my big brother. Out of all the friends I ever had in my life, my father said he's the most solid guy I've
Hey.
ever met.
He called it.
And he only told me
Yeah, I know
that
how that
once.
is.
So respect.
Yeah, but your dad didn't even like me at all. And my dad taught you secrets he didn't teach me.
Oh, the truth comes out.
We might hear some of those secrets today.
But what I'm getting at is how important dads are and how wonderful they are and how lucky we are all to have really excellent dads. His dad is one of my favorite people in the world, and I've known him since I was 1 year old when they came to visit us because we've been neighbors that long.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
That is beautiful.
And mom.
That's
Yeah,
right.
moms
Moms
are
are in there
respect.
too. Moms are in there too.
Moms are
Yeah.
too doing their
Yeah,
job.
definitely. need
Sister,
them.
brother.
Yep.
All right, yeah.
So you were saying about Rio?
So
Yes.
Rio is big brother. His family is from Round Valley. He's a native Blackfoot. And his dad was a farmer there. His dad's an epic farmer. Worked with Alan Chadwick. Where I was
First
saying that
organic farm in Mendocino County that
Let's go.
lasted for decades.
30
Covelo
years.
Organics.
100 families a week.
Oh,
Wow.
thank you
And
very
we've
much.
been selling at farmers markets in the county for 20 years as well.
Let's go.
All over the county.
Really?
Good for you guys. That's amazing.
No, his
What
dad
a
is
beaut-
one of my most important teachers. Been an uncle to me my whole life.
It's amazing.
Yep, Tom, if you see this, I'm glad you're out there.
Let's go.
Oh,
yeah.
Big shout out.
And then we got the Mendocino Cowboy.
Hey.
We were wondering when he was going to come because he was running a little late, but then we all heard his truck. Yeah, I
that
felt
diesel.
it. There was some feeling reverberating
some
there.
feeling.
Hell yeah.
That's right. Cowboy
Yeah.
showing up in them Fords.
Me and Cowboy have been friends for a minute. I met him in Mendocino, and we struck it off. It's been great to know him and have a friend where when you don't see him for a while, you pick it right back up where you left off.
Love
So
that.
solid. He'd been farming. He'd been around the block longer than me.
Hey.
And yeah, it's the team. Here we are. It took a little longer, but the Thundercats are here.
Let's go.
The Thundercats.
Genetics.
Let's go.
Let's talk about some genetics.
All right, let's fire away.
Let's shout
Yeah,
out
someone-
to the Purple Urkel, the best strain there ever was.
Here we go.
Ooh.
Did you guys cross any purple Urkel?
Purple Urkel is our favorite grandmother strain. We created the Granddaddy Purple out of it, as well as all these new runts, gelato. There's an uncounted number of descendants from the Mendo Purps.
The
Yep.
last 20 years, you come to my house with a bag, and you pull out like the magic bud that would have like the perch strain. Would just be like,
Yeah,
waiting
had
for
that nose.
moment.
So
Yeah.
my jet fuel
The
runts
one.
is the descendant of that.
Okay.
And it's got the most amazing smell and high that you could imagine.
So you're saying that runts and gelato came from purple Urkel?
Yeah, they're like the great grandchildren. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I never went down that family tree that deep.
yeah.
Mendo Perp's been on in Mendocino for a long time. That's a
Yeah.
Spy Rock
That's a Spy
native,
Rock
right?
strain, neighbor, across the river.
Yeah,
Wow.
The
okay.
sacred river. Let us all protect the water so that we can live together.
Yes, sir.
The river.
So
I started-
genetic.
Put the
Brought the
box.
box.
There you
Oh,
dude.
shit.
We gotta
Wanna put the
take
box on the
high
table?
regards.
Take a look at
Let's
that.
show this to the fam.
Can I-
because
yeah,
we
show it.
appreciate
Can
our
I see that
earners.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Show it to the camera right there.
Okay.
Yep.
bam.
Here we go.
All right. So
Look
I
at
brought
that.
You got 3 jars in there for.
That's a special case right there.
It was hard to choose. We always mark the gardens with these holders. We get so used to knowing what it is that I just marked a jar with that 'cause we don't need to write it down.
Yeah.
Beautiful colors. These are the gifts for you guys. and
Oh,
the
wow.
show.
Oh, gifts for us.
These
Let's
are for
go.
all-
Respect.
Anybody who wants
That's
to
amazing.
Yeah, you can have one of those
I don't know
buds.
why I say that.
Everybody should take a bud if you want some of
I'll
that.
bring it over.
Yeah, that's it. Jet Fuel Runs. That's mine and Dylan's work for the last 3 years.
Oh,
I'll
yes,
check that out.
Let's
It-
go.
Yeah, it has that fuely, but it's also like something else in there. Like
Fruity,
that fruity.
It's the
yes,
fruit.
exactly
A little
right.
sweet back to
fruity-
it.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Mm.
right. And wait till
Okay.
you smoke it. Take a bud and
Yeah.
make a joint out of it.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah,
Like
people
candy
have
gas.
told me it was psychedelic. What he said, he
Bring
gave
some
some
weed.
of my weed to somebody and they had
Smoke
life
some weed.
change.
Thank
Last year,
Very
when you were
Tyson
handing
diet.
out that stuff, it was psychedelic for some people, and it was like relationship life changing for other people. It feels nice to have a product that is healing for everyone who uses it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It really does. Like when you get that really good feedback from someone.
That's it. Exactly right.
Also, everybody wants to buy the highest THC in the store, but they want to have a gelato or a candy gas. You need to go towards a sativa. If you want a higher THC, more of a, I don't know, psychedelic kind of high,
it's more of a
spiritual high,
yeah.
you need to go for those sativa strains. And I think everyone's looking at the original creators right now. Big respect.
Yeah, Jock.
There's often a nice high when you try a new strain, a different strain with a different set of cannabinoids and other chemicals that are in there. When that spiritual inspiration comes, it's going to come to you, and it may come from one strain or another.
Yeah, the hoax is up. The labs are been our crutch. They've been the villain. They've been the control. I'm like, now nothing's testing over 28%. Distros are asking people in the white for 28% plus weed. It's a disaster. Like, can we push the button and not the destroy button, the bullshit button?
Yep.
And I'm like, we talked about this outside just a moment ago before we started the show. The old man said, grind it up, it all looks the same to me. You want to smoke that shit? And whether I'm hitting 16%, 12%, like everybody's saying, all cannabis is unique.
Yeah.
And there's different times. Experienced smokers, we're all taste makers. I'll put that mark up.
That's
I heard
That's
that.
it.
I like that. Like, we've been smoking so long and so much that we have the flavors that we enjoy.
That's right.
Yep.
We have our morning weed that's
Yeah,
less
the
powerful.
morning and the night weed. Yeah.
We have the I gotta clean the house weed. I
You know,
want to do
you know how
smart.
to, you know how to medicate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
We're all about it for the high, for the healing, for the
That's
medicine.
right. That's right.
That's what it comes to.
But also like customizing it on what you're trying to do, right? Whatever you're trying to get done.
And that comes back to education.
and that let's talk about 80% of what's getting consumed in the bag coming from the street.
Yeah, but
nobody
don't
gives a what. There ain't no lab report. They're like, where's the fire at?
That's it. Don't forget saleability. It has to look good in the bag.
The
Yeah,
bag
that
appeal.
GDP would sell itself. You know?
That's
Oh,
exactly right.
I got my first property, me and this good friend of mine, Jamal. We bought a logging piece of property from the hardwoods, summer of 2002. 80 acres, nothing on it. It was 50 grand down, 50 in 6 months, and we set out to build a 100 lighter. And we grew nothing but GDP for the first 4 years. And I remember we had a neighbor we met. We nicknamed him Dino. That guy would come to the gate. We didn't know phones worked back then, so he'd blast off 2 shots. And if we heard 2 shots, we knew it was Dino. Dino was giving us 4,200 on the hill for the
Oh,
GDP.
shit.
Boom.
That was
42
That,
That's a clear shot.
What year was this?
2002,
2, yeah.
2003.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
We grew GDP for 4 years straight, just humming.
Back in the day.
And that
Let's
GDP stayed short because we had bunk bed rooms, so we had a limited space, and we'd plant 25 a light in dirt, and we were growing premium product where it would turn purple from the inside out.
Yeah.
I remember getting the clones from up in Miranda and driving them all the way. We were in Lake County at that point, so it was a mission
Yeah.
to get all
Oh,
those
yeah.
clones. We had to go through the national forest, but the product was worth it, and it turned purple from the inside out.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it was that skunky
GDP,
purple.
yeah.
go.
There was
From
the
the
sweet
inside.
perps, and
Yeah.
there was that skunky perps. This
Had
one
that
just
burn your nostrils.
this one had that
Burn your
skunk
nostrils.
to it.
Yep.
And it was respectable.
Oh, did someone say skunk? Let's
you got?
get back to the genetics.
Let's get back to the
Oh, I
genetics.
think this is the chime in.
Okay, what you got, Dylan?
So everybody's talking skunk, talking funk. Where's it at? Where is it? I'm not going to name names. There's a lot of people that build everything around it.
Yeah.
Where's it at? I've been doing a lot of work in the garden where I don't know how it happens, but something crosses with something a lot of the time now out of my hands because I do open pollination and things reappear. Train wreck. Snow cap.
Oh, the snow cap,
look at
legendary.
Snow cap there.
Poor man's
The
Kush.
yielder.
Hey.
That was
Come
the
on.
yielder.
The biggest
Yeah,
yielding nuts
it is.
ever.
Yeah.
They're fucking dinosaurs.
It was like ducting coming out of the ground.
Totally,
So,
dude.
we called it poor man's Kush.
Poor man's Kush.
Makes total
dude, you
sense.
Get over.
Yeah.
So I grew a male out that I found from this skunk line that emerged in the patch.
Okay.
And then I like gave up on it. And I was out and I was pulling all the males and I was like, I don't want to have any seeds this year. It was just a small little patch. I was recovering from being sick. I'm out pulling them out and I'm almost down to the last males. My son's, let's do some smell test. I was like, hell yeah. And the plant I reached down on, I smell, and it was the skunk male. And I was like, no fucking way.
Wow.
I'm leaving it. It's rinsing
That was all meant to
everything.
be, man.
All meant to
Yo,
be.
That's what's cool.
So then I crossed that into some different gear, and now I have this skunk that finishes August 5th.
Okay.
And I'm like,
Oh,
this is
boy.
game changer
Yeah.
in the sense that this flower is no tarp. This is the year tarp dies in Mendo. Everybody was like, how are we going to pull the premium to pay people to pull tarps? And the numbers went, unless you're growing enough,
It don't pencil out.
it
No, it
don't
doesn't.
pencil out.
It's as simple as that.
And
a
I'm
lot
like,
of people are out.
Maine, Canada, California, I don't even care where you're at. It finishes that early. It's
a
a
quick.
win. So you have to plan it like a full term. Start it in February or March new moon, move it outside, but once it triggers, it goes.
Wait, what'd you say?
Triggers.
No, before that.
New moon. Okay, yes.
People need to know how important that is.
Yeah,
I mean,
magnetism works.
yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah,
really
it's-
does.
Yep.
It's a real thing.
No, and the biodynamic calendar, I like to follow that. Flower days, fruit days, leaf days, all coincide with the different work we do in the garden.
Yeah, if you're
Yeah.
a farmer and you're not watching the moon, you're not on your game on
That's
trying to
what I'm
grow
saying.
the best product. I specifically told my foreman, don't be tarping on full moons. Let those depot plants absorb
They
that
grow
energy.
at night, man. Honestly,
So important.
So you don't have to be pretty with my nugs. You could squeeze them. You can break them.
Respect.
There's seeds in here.
Okay.
And I'm like, I want to push seeds in a different way because no one's getting seeds as much
So-
anymore.
So we get the gift of the seed,
And
and
you
we get the
smoke the
gift of the
flower.
herb.
And I'm like, if
I love it.
people see me in the future, I'm going to be putting seeds out like this where I'm like, yo, you buy the weed, you get the seed.
Yeah.
And
Why
I'm
not?
like,
No, I like that.
I'll do.
That's
in
cool.
this
Yeah.
jar, there's
As long as it's
enough
not too much, like too many
Yeah.
seeds.
No, it can't
So how
be
do you feel about the
little.
open pollination? How's that working out? Like how long you been doing that?
About 3+ years
3+
now.
years? And it's
Yeah.
like letting the plant choose what it wants to pollinate?
Correct. So it's a lot of variables to where there's some early males or there's late males.
Yeah.
And early females that will receive the pollen or a later female to show won't. They have their own selection, which I believe is way above mine. And just letting them do their thing. And again, not relying on a commercial patch. It's just a small personal.
Yeah.
The more seeds, the merry. But yeah, there's ways to moderate it being crushed.
Yeah.
And
Keep
that's
the wind
all
down.
on when you pull it down. And that's probably the day I find it because they're huge. After Reggae Fest, we're like, what the happened? And I'm like, dude, I left for 2 days. And it's inevitable in this process where you're like,
Hell
dude,
Yeah, that
I'm
wind.
out. I don't panic anymore. I used to panic.
Yeah.
And now I just go and cut it down.
Yeah,
put
whatever
water
happens,
on.
happens.
Hey, or let it go. So I want to pass this around to hear what the squad has to
please.
say.
Yeah, let's do it.
Squeeze and smell.
Yes, sir.
I gave that really no cut on that. That's how it grows on the vine. So it's commercial kind of nugs and low leaf.
That smells different. It
Oh,
smells
yeah.
good though.
Yeah, there's some skunk in there,
Yeah.
bro. I'm saying.
I bet that tastes real nice.
Oh yeah, like,
We have to roll some of that up.
and it goes.
Time.
Skunk's got a weird thing where in the cure it smelled like GMO, garlic, and sweet onion. But then
it
as the
changes.
cure matured,
Yeah.
and everybody says it's something
That
specific
smells
about
better
skunk,
than GMO.
then it comes out, dude. Oh yeah, squeeze
That's
that.
amazing.
That's the skunk, dude.
My question
Oh,
is
yeah.
why?
Let's bring it back.
dude.
That's a real deal right there.
Why is all your skunk smell sweet?
Oh, good
No,
question.
this
I
shit
did.
smelled like you ran over a skunk. It's on.
All your skunk smells so sweet.
It does have a little
My
sweet.
brother.
Yeah.
Okay, there's some sweetness in there.
But you know what? I'm-
Giving it
Hey,
that
that-
molasses, huh?
Yeah, but I'm not
The
complaining.
molasses, the sugar, huh?
No molasses. That's a whole nother conversation because I
No
make
molasses.
my terp blend
Okay.
that I'm going to be releasing with Vital
Hey.
and Organic Brian and the fam over there,
Hey.
and it's made from freeze-dried fruits, proteins, vegetables.
That terp juice.
Juice.
Hey, your boy Idol Joel, he
Yeah.
taught me about that. We took home that grow dozer because of that terp juice.
Respect, bro.
You know?
And you had some help.
Are you putting this terp juice in while it's growing?
It comes to find out after all my research, I had to do white papers. White papers in cannabis is like an unknown thing. And white papers are what you need to show a real nutrient company black and white on paper that it works.
Okay.
And it's expected of agricultural crops, grapes. This is commonplace. But in cannabis, not so much. As we developed and worked through the white papers, it came to find out, let's talk about the labs again. Bullshit. They don't know anything about cannabis. And they screwed up my report like 5 times. And they kept being like, do you want to do another report? Do you want to do another report? They were like, almost like, they actually said, we want to get out of cannabis and we're not going to do this anymore.
Wow.
Dirty.
Wow.
Okay, so luckily enough, the guy that I'm working with, Vital and Brian, did his own litmus test, and it worked for him, and it worked for some other really good farmers that I know, and it works for me. I had to leave the labs behind. Who's a step ahead? Okay,
The
Oh,
OGs,
yeah,
Brian.
the OGs,
He ain't
yeah.
giving up. He's been in the game forever.
respect. His OG,
Yeah.
speaking of that, is the best OG I've smoked in 10 years. Purple, dank. He said the nutrients that we gave it also brings out the color. So
Okay.
it brightens and it darkens hues, but it's all organic. I can eat it. It's food grade. So, feed your plants what you feed yourself.
Let's go.
I did
Back to the
lemon
ingredients.
Yeah,
man.
so true.
tech. I did
So
lemon
true.
tech. I want to hear the panel on this. You know the lemon tech, right, guys?
Got the panel.
The panel.
I love
Mushrooms
it.
and lemon juice. And I was like, maybe plants can trip. Like, we share a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I made like a really strong batch of lemon tech and fed it to the plant. And I took this ride with this guy in my truck. There was a stranger. And we were in the truck for a long time. We didn't talk very much. And he tried some of the lemon tech purple duck, I call it. And after 2 hours of going down the highway, like at speeds that we won't talk about, he said, I was like, what did you think of that, bro? And he said, I swear I was tripping. And I was like, I was tripping too. And I was going through some portals and shit. And I don't know, man, but maybe there's a possibility. And I'm like, we need to branch out from nutrients being basic NPK and this and that.
Yeah,
Let's go.
try new things
Yeah.
like
That's
that.
what I mean.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's cool.
It's
amazing.
time.
Yeah.
I would say if you can play into the environment you're already in, the zone. If you're down in the valley, you may have pears or lavender. If you're up in the hills, you may have those lemons and certain things. Put it all in a ferment, and you get
That
down with it.
fermentation
you
process.
know?
Yeah.
Yep.
Real.
Yeah.
Carbon sequestration needs to happen everywhere.
Yeah.
Just like he's saying, you look at the environment you're in and you put the organic matter in a place where you want to make the ground more fertile. And everything contributes to that carbon cycle and helps to make the ground richer.
Just like food scraps or just like anything.
Everything. That's
Anything
right.
and everything.
Yeah, that's right. Keep it pure, keep the chemicals out of it,
Yeah.
and put it all back onto the garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say
So-
that's what we do with the food we eat.
Compost.
Yeah.
You guys
What?
totally
That's
just
right.
failed
Yeah.
at that bud review. That was the weakest bud review ever. He said something. I got no other comments. I want some live
it was
feedback.
skunky,
from the
man.
group.
That was-
yeah,
that was-
Forrest said something. We're gonna send another flavor.
I want to
around.
say it was more of a sweet skunk.
All right.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I already said that.
Yeah,
Remember?
I agree with you.
Yeah, caveman already knew that.
All right. I'm skeptic of this. Okay, so this is the next one. I call this lavender marzipan.
Okay.
And it's got the gas and it's got the candy. He likes fuel, so
Fuely guy.
again,
Yeah.
this is that fuel train of the line, and it's got nice color purple. Frost that falls off. If you break it up, you're gonna have a pile of frost on the table where you're putting your finger down,
Putting
caking
it back in the jar.
Yeah, that's always a fun thing. So,
Yes, sir.
lavender marzipan.
Oh, I love it. That's amazing.
Ooh, you ain't lying.
Oh,
Super
what
frosty.
is the genetics behind that one over there, brother?
So that is my marzipan crossed with jelly roll.
What are those? Tell me about both of those.
Deep dive in here.
That's that. That's
Jelly
that nose.
roll is
Get in there. That's what I'm talking about.
If she's hot.
Jagu crossed
That's that shit.
with Long Valley Royal Kush F13.
That
What the fuck
See,
am I
that's
smelling here?
That's what I'm talking
What
about.
am I
Bring it
smelling
out.
here?
Boom.
That's in there.
The marzipan is pink runts crossed with silver velvet.
That was good. All that you threw out there. That was
All right,
nice.
all right.
Thank you.
That was
Appreciate
some data bank.
I want to say that's pretty skunky too.
that's fuely though.
Yeah, it does. It's got
You
fuel.
got some
It's
skunk.
that straight
Yeah, there's some
gas.
skunk in there.
That's good.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
but
got some kick. That's like
That's got
There's
kick.
some-
let's
there's-
get up and
That
go.
smells like
Let's roll one
propane.
of those and
But-
hit the road.
but there's a
into
funk.
the garden.
There's
You're
a-
rolling one of those right now, bro.
There's a funk in there though, Forrest.
There is.
Yeah.
This is the kit.
You know, it's like super savory. It's almost like you could like cook with that or something.
It's
Like,
very
honestly.
unique. Very unique.
It's derpy.
Yeah.
That's some high testing stuff.
Yeah. Look at
Yeah,
that
that
thing.
should stick to the wall.
Like pasta.
Again.
Anybody who wants
Yeah.
to smoke weed, I have the
Nice
tray.
color there.
I got
Respect.
papes.
I definitely want to roll some of that. I want to.
Yep.
We're gonna roll.
Shout out to Mendo.
Dylan, who's some of the OGs that you looked up to in the game coming up? Since we had a Mendo shout out, there was a lot of OGs that weren't around when Prop 64 came in, and they were hitting the ground harder than me and Dylan, and I'm sure we were looking up to those guys, and they were coming with some flavors, man.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about my dad, your dad, his dad.
But let's
their
talk about
dad.
some of the others too.
Hey, Kyle's dad.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Boom.
I learned a lot from that man.
I'm gonna
Spy
say a
Rock legend.
name that you might know, and I know they know. Respect Mark Thies and Leslie. And it's not just a man, it's a woman. Respect. And they're a beautiful neighbor on the hill. And Mark has made flavors that I never knew about. And a lot of my lines, I worked with Mark for a couple years. His Hairwana. He has some other
Hairwana.
crazy things where he had all this fermented fruit and like that nasty, dirty funk. And there's a picture of Mark in his garden wearing sweatpants, dirty sweatpants, and a dirty t-shirt. And I'm like, I love that guy. That's my hero. That's the real shit. There he is. And I've been growing 20. This is working on my 21st year as what I've been doing. And Mark was like going on 41. Really respect to them, and like them saying, we're getting in with these different people. Rio worked with Dennis Snell. He could tell us a little bit more about that guy, who was a Vietnam vet who brought this early genetic that made my early girls, bringing that full circle.
Wow.
And yeah,
Is that what got you into breeding?
breeding actually was just an evolution. It was like I did indoor, I did depths, I did outdoor, and you just keep climbing up the ladder. What's left? What's the new thing? I want to do more. It's like breeding's the last stop.
Yeah. I think it's the best.
And so another guy to mention is Steve Smith, who ran Net and also was one of the people that wrote 215,
Steve
created
Smith, that's
rosin.
familiar.
And he said 215 was a dog license that they reworded. And I'm like, big up to the dog pound.
No.
Who let the dogs out?
Dog pound over there.
Yeah,
That's
we
what's
could
up.
only go back, but he ran a shop. He made rosin, believe it or not. There's a lot of mystery and trash out there, but I know that one day, hopefully, he's here on their show. And he made rosin because Melinda Haag was the federal prosecutor at the time, and she was raiding people for BHO in the early 2000s. And she raided him off of 6th Street. And it was where, I forget the band, Thin Lizzy, is that the band that I'm thinking of? They had that flat before him where they had a mural painted, where they did LSD for a week and wrote music
Oh, shit.
and had
Nice.
people bring food in and
Hell
didn't
yeah.
leave the apartment.
Wow.
And my
Oh,
dad
fuck.
was like, you just pissed in Ray Slick's bathroom. Have some respect. You even know where you're at. And I'm with the old timers, and they used to have their round table where they sip sherry forest, and they'd have weed that I could only dream about on the table. Girl Scout cookies, early 2000s, sort of nobody had on that table. All the gems. So Melinda Haag raided this flat, and she's tapping on the tub, and she said she had him. And he said, no, you don't. That's just weed. And so he invented a concentrate that was just cannabis, so it outdid all the federal regulations.
Loophole.
Man, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about the creation of rosin. Stay focused.
Focus,
Okay,
focus. Man.
focus.
I
Caveman.
was floating. That was some good weed.
Yes, yes.
Rio, what'd you light up? Oh,
But let's hear from Rhea. Here we go.
Try this right here.
Yeah.
Just like
Which
I'm
one's
rolling up
that?
This bud. It's just I like to let it cure before I try it. So this is my outdoor here. I have.
okay.
What's your genetics on that one, brother?
Man, I got this beautiful clone from my brother here. It's like what we call this
Menage.
beautiful cross of candy gas. I'm saying this is gassy. So this is the first time I tried it.
Oh, is this your first time trying it?
This is my first time trying it.
Hey, you know,
Hey.
And you know, how's this gonna turn out? You know, it's all solid on the stick, easy to roll. And
When'd you
trim.
harvest it?
smooth.
Like
Early in October.
October?
Yeah. So I like to let it wait for a few months. Before
Yeah,
I smoke
same.
it, so it's a little
Same.
early, but
Curing's
Gotta-
huge.
It's that crunchy gooey though.
it's still got that flavor.
Bro, it does.
So I like my weed to be ready to smoke.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I don't want to mush it around.
No,
You
that's-
can't rush
stem's
it.
gotta yeah, that's
Can't
what I'm-
rush it.
Nah.
Time's
no,
the most important ingredient. I always
so
say that.
important. When we did the
And take
judging,
that.
when we did the judging at the Tribal Cannabis Cup last weekend, that was probably the hardest thing for the
Dude,
farmer.
that's good,
The
bro.
farmer
That's it,
just
yeah.
didn't have enough time to cure the product,
Right.
and we tasted it and we could smell it. And
But just some tasted green.
Mhm.
It just has that chlorophyll taste.
Yeah.
yeah,
You gotta dry it till it's dry.
Yep.
Hey,
Yeah.
shout out
Yep.
to Cured Cup because
Dry
Joey
till it's
put
dry.
that on,
cured
and
cup.
Where's that at?
he'll wait like a year. The last one was
Respect.
up in the foothills.
Estate
He had
curing.
one in Lake County
Okay.
called the
Ah.
Cured Cup, and I had the honor of judging that. And so the flower that won was this Lemonhead OG that this guy had dried in a cave in Oregon. The cannabis had not seen the light until the trip from Oregon to the Cured Cup.
Damn.
He was curing it out the window,
Hell
like
yeah,
burping,
burping
and shit
it.
on the way.
burping out the window.
And
Hiccups.
On the way.
Shout out to that farmer, man. He
Mhm.
grew some straight fire.
He ended up
Yo,
winning.
He ended up winning.
Took first place.
All from the cure.
I'm telling you, the
Wow.
cure's everything.
Tell us a little bit more about you, Forrest. What you got going on in the cannabis industry?
I was cutting down some cannabis earlier this year, and I said, man, this is my 30th year in growing cannabis. The sun was setting. You're looking out in the hills. I was cutting down. At that point, it was some AJ Sour Diesel.
Okay.
And something about sour diesel, I've always loved growing it. People
Mhm.
say, it's hard to grow or it doesn't weigh up. But if that sour hits right, it's sold.
Yeah,
and
true.
people are really happy smoking sour. It gets you ripped, but you get some energy going too.
It's that
Like,
day smoke.
I love
Some
me
work
some
weed.
sour diesel.
Yeah.
We're farming in Lake and Mendocino County. Got
Beautiful.
about 30K between those two spaces, and they're pretty commercial. At this point, you have to be commercial to stay in the game.
Full outdoor.
Or light depot
Nice.
and some outdoor. About most 70% depot.
Okay.
And growing with organic inputs
Mhm.
and just keeping them ladies happy, man.
Hell yeah.
That's it.
Do you
That's it.
do you get your
Heard that.
genetics from these guys, or
I haven't got any of these guys' genetics
Mhm.
at this point.
are you doing clones only, or from seed, or?
Pretty much clones. We're growing some of the old genetics, like the Blue Dream. We got the green crack back.
Nice.
Okay.
I had been growing green crack when I got my second property in Berry White, so it's like,
I'll say Barry White, man.
Let's
Oh, they're
Uh,
making comebacks.
yeah,
I like to hear it.
I like the tried and true
Yeah.
because my brand's Cowboy brand, and we've been around since 16, so we
That's
just
how I
want to
know
stay
you.
authentic.
I follow your
too.
Instagram.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
All just
So-
came together.
Man, it just came together.
Uh,
That's how I know you.
All right.
Yeah,
Cool.
we have mutual friends too.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
Yeah.
When you've been in the game that long,
Yeah.
everybody got mutual friends.
Yeah, man.
Facts.
But,
Your garden's beautiful.
You know,
Yeah.
I've stepped away from the day-to-day farming
Yeah.
and now helping farmers
Take the
make
man off the
moves
farm.
under the Land Connect name, working for Lux Places. It's been a great journey to help people get into the cannabis space or take their brand to the next step by purchasing some more square footage.
Nice.
I get the honor of learning from all these different great individuals and meeting great guys like these guys every day.
Yeah.
And I love it. It was great being a farmer, and I'm still a farmer a few days a week, but bringing the most value to people and always learning has been a good thing, and jumping out of your comfort zone. So if anybody's been farming for 20 plus years and says, I'm not sure if I could enjoy doing something else or switch up my lifestyle, I'd say you take that chance. Put yourself out there.
Yep.
Because
So true.
struggle builds strength.
Facts.
Man, love it.
Super
Dropping
true.
it. I love that.
Support.
Where's your brand at right now?
Our brand
Yeah.
is in the dry room right now. We're
Let's
not
go.
on the shelf yet. We're not rushing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't rush
Get it.
that.
We
Well-
did launch some Blue Dream with Redwood Roots
Redwood-
last year.
okay. Cool.
And they said it was very successful. It was some outdoor Blue Dream tested at 32%, all
Nice.
organic, and they really couldn't keep it in the shops.
Let's
so
go.
that Green Crack, that Blue Dream, probably some
Staple.
LCG.
You're gonna get that-
We got the LCG Biscotti. We'll probably throw that in a jar too, and we'll put out a few SKUs here later this year.
Do you actually do the Cowboy brand in a package?
Correct.
Okay.
We have a tin.
Yeah.
It's an eco-friendly kind of tobacco tin.
Cool.
So
Vibes.
Yeah.
we'll be putting
Sick.
that out, and then we have an 8th jar as well.
Dope.
And,
I can't wait till you drop it. We'll definitely have to promote it. And
I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
dude,
Yeah,
that's
man.
amazing.
Oh,
That's so
shit.
cool that I just put that together.
So,
Man, respect. Thanks, Dylan.
Yes,
Yeah.
man.
Hell yeah. Nice to meet
Jaws,
you, Corey.
yeah.
What's your side hustle?
My side
has
hustle.
something to do with flowers.
Yeah, but no, distribution. I do Logitech technology. So with Swoop It Up, I have an app where I can contract with a distribution that has a van and a driver, and they can log into the application. And then let's say a customer needs a service from SoCal to Northern California, they can jump on the app and they can find a distribution van to bulk transport over to Northern California.
Swoop.
Swoop it up.
Swoop it up.
Swoop.
Yep.
Palymon. That's what we call him. That's his nickname.
Yeah, Polymon. Here I am. No, it's good. It's
He's a
good.
living Tarzan, by the way. He runs everywhere on his property. He does pull-ups on drain pipes.
I'm a doer.
shit,
You'll
it's
see me
official.
out there at the shovel time of year, clearing out ditches.
Let's go. You gotta make it happen.
crop.
Someone's got to do it.
Someone's got to.
It's
That's
awesome.
respectable.
Yeah, it really is,
board
man.
standards.
Yeah.
Keeping
Yeah.
up with them.
You gotta
Yeah.
do
Checking
that.
them culverts.
That's,
Yep.
You're on
that's
I
the
can
true.
respect that.
That's
man.
what you
For
have
sure.
to do.
Let's
That's
Let's
the time
go.
of year it is. You know, make sure
Yep.
your wood is dry and the culverts are clean.
Mm-hmm.
And the fireplace is ready and safe for the family. Getting
Yep.
warm, cozy, transition.
Getting ready for that winter
cover
time.
Crops are
Yep.
crucial. Prevent erosion
Mm-hmm.
and include the soil and doing a lot less turning of the soil and planting right into living mulch. And that's the challenge. Go away from an ideal of a mowed lawn. Instead, see living herbs and butterflies, right? It doesn't have
Hey.
to
The
be
insects and
It's amazing.
the living soil.
yeah, and same in the field. You can plant through a living cover and come and learn how to crimp that down and just plant right through. And so I'm experimenting with that this year. And gophers leave 10%. I was feeding gophers. I had enough for myself and some gophers.
Yeah.
Because I didn't cultivate very much at all. And they had to come and loosen it, especially when I overwatered. And they came and loosened it back up.
Mm-hmm.
But it's beautiful, and love the heritage farming and just kicking back now and not having the pressure to produce. People here producing an amazing product, and like, how do we know it was amazing? Because we always shared it with each other first. You know, you had that like bam, bouncing off each other. We created like leaps and bounds. You know, this
So
thing
true.
became amazing, and now everybody can do it.
Mm-hmm.
But are they going to come back and be like, you do it best?
Yeah.
And we'll be here with the heritage strains. Like I respect.
Are you smoking
know.
your own herb? That's the question.
Man, he's
Are
on
you eating your own
herb. Man, I used to
food?
grow the best herb. Every one of
Yeah.
those strains, you had it, and you're like, you
Mhm.
knew it would come back, but it never came back around. But we all know these ladies. We can go there
Yep.
Mhm.
with all the beautiful strains that we've gone through
Yeah.
all the years.
I would say you guys are all some true medicine men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, bringing that, and it's awesome that we're carrying the torch because We know the guy who knows the guy who brought it from Afghanistan and came on the plane and brought some original seeds back. Just talking to this brother the other day, I picked up a trim machine from this old timer.
Hell
and
yeah.
he came out and he was just glowing, talking about bringing these seeds back in the day and how fun it was getting 6,000 a pound,
go.
you know. And,
Shit, yeah.
and like you said, somebody come to the end of your gate and be like, "Is it ready yet?" And you'd be like, "Hold up, come back next week." They were hungry for that medicine. And
Yeah,
we knew it was good.
It's that pure medicine.
Love
you know,
it.
when you
And
smoke it.
You smoke some herb now and it doesn't have that vibe. You're in a good mood. You see something beautiful. You're rolling it up. I take a couple hits, and I'm like, something's wrong. What's going on?
Feeling the anxiety.
Oh, salt.
Toss that
Salty.
in the street. And
Salty, he says. Yeah,
reach
yeah.
down in my pocket and get one
Those
of these
ingredients,
beautiful
bro.
heritage buds.
That's what I'm talking
Just
about.
brush off the outer leaves
Yeah.
and check
Beautiful.
this purples out.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Smell that
I know what I'm
dankness.
smoking.
Review.
Can we roll this out?
And
I'll smell
usually
that
it doesn't
room.
need to be beautiful. You get those smalls, crusty, because you're just covered.
But it does the same job, man.
cured
Those big
better.
nugs.
The middle of the test of the plant tests the highest.
Who said that?
The labs, according to all their tests.
I was still lost in the smell of that nug.
You
Yeah, let's go.
continue.
That's nice.
So that's a good. That's
and that just be the forest.
That's a good
I always
review,
ask Kyle.
Rio.
I always ask Kyle to grow something similar like that for me to like
Yes.
mix in my joints.
mix,
Is it like
baby.
the-
That's what I'm talking about.
like
You got your
forbidden
layer of
fruit
green,
kind of
and you drop a
profile?
little purple in the
Fruity.
paper on top, and it's just it's beautiful.
Just a little sprinkle.
Exactly.
That's it. Yep.
rub the paper on the plant when it's living.
No, this is one of Mikey G's
Farmer's
seeds,
secret.
baby. One of those
His
giant
brother's
seeds.
seed.
Yeah,
Nice.
one of those giant seeds, like the biggest fucking seed I ever seen in
Oh
my
my
life.
How big was
God.
the plant?
These
Because-
plants were just yay high with
Kyle and I look
4
at
or
that.
5 nugs.
The seeds.
They get big.
Sometimes the seed's small, but the plant's huge.
I feel like the
right.
smaller the seed, the bigger the plant.
I don't,
What do you guys
These
think?
plants-
No, no correlation.
No correlation. Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know.
These plants were ready to get big. They had really big arms and stalks, but I
Yeah.
kept them small. I
Yeah.
just wanted to try them out.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
What's
What's the
up?
biggest plant you've ever grown?
Okay, I got this sweet video. I wish I had it for you guys of this
Fucking
greenhouse that's been
monster.
lifted, right? So we're talking 30-foot greenhouse, and there's these plants in front of it, and then you see the plants coming out of the top of the greenhouse, and then you see the trim crew come out, and they're like, "Yay!" out from underneath, and they're like dwarfed by these colossal
hell yeah.
plants, and they're like dancing through,
Dancing
like-
in the shade of that thing.
Oh shit.
you know, and then they cut it down and
So the
trim it up. Those were fun times.
He had a 20-pound
Colossal
I was gonna
plant.
say,
Yeah,
so,
I was gonna say,
20-pound
how big-
plant,
20
dude.
pounds? Oh man,
The-
it's not the length, it's not the size.
What strain was that?
I was
How
gonna
many
say.
times it gets you high?
What strain was it?
Oh wow!
Let's go.
Yo, you want it? I'm gonna chime in with my old man's reference here. No one knows where the herb's gonna go. We all spend a short time with it. We all get to care for it and love it. But the herb knows every bowl, every joint. It's good to be on the ride and be a part of that train, but the medicine finds its people.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, Roger
Love
that. We used to have a saying,
Mm-hmm.
they come and they go, but she's still here.
She's
man.
still
That
here.
plant has been with you. I don't know about you guys, but I started growing up in Southern Humboldt at a really young age, and you'd go through a lot in life, but come every June, you were watering your plants, and you were hanging out in nature, and you were seeing epic sunsets, you were going on missions, you were meeting individuals like this guy talks about, Rio, up on the hill. There's guys like that on every hill. And that's what makes the culture of growing cannabis so awesome is
It's the people, huh?
Our lifestyle,
people.
bro.
Yes, it
That's why
is.
we're
You
all
know,
in it. Like somehow in
it's
the
a
midst
lifestyle.
of the matrix, we've just been making it up this whole time and doing okay. And it's like you and I know this is not an easy plant to grow. It's not an easy lifestyle. When you lose all hope and you're down and out, the phone rings. And I'm like, the phone rings, and old Mary Jane takes care of us again. She's always there for me.
Yeah.
yeah.
Financially,
Shout out to
yeah.
Camo Cowboy. You know, talking about a family felony. If you ain't heard that one, Google that. Family felony.
All right.
That's real talk.
I just heard that song last week on the radio.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Raw Deal. Shout out to him, too.
Oh, yeah.
Helicopters. I mean, we grew up living that lifestyle, hiding from
Oh,
the
helicopters horrify me, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
you
I have
still hear it,
PTSD.
yeah.
I always have to take a picture, and I never post it, but I'm like, yeah, that's it. It's the giant black chopper
black
with a ball
chopper.
on it. You're like, it comes up over the high point of the ridge, and it stops. And you're like, where's it going to go?
Well, he's looking.
Where's it
That's
going to
what
go?
they're doing. Yep. Let's talk about the plant as it goes, like you were saying, how it comes and goes. I like to let people know that the plant isn't going anywhere. So if you're smoking too much herb and you need to take a break, it's okay. The plant is not going anywhere. It's getting better. You know why it's getting better? Because we have people like y'all working on it. At the end of the day, this is where it's at. This is where it starts. You guys got the roots in the soil in Mendocino, Northern California, Humboldt.
I think it's
Big
just all
respect.
putting our heads together and just like the old timers teaching us how to really do it. And yeah, it speaks
There's a
for
lot of love in
itself,
this
you know?
room. I respect all of you for just being here today and being able to do this with us. And yeah, man, I really appreciate you guys.
Appreciate it, man. It's nice to sesh, not have the pressure, just one-on-one, being natural. We left out little Reggie here.
yeah.
We didn't give him any spotlight.
Let's get him on the cam.
Yeah, he's looking a little black sheeped out right now.
How old is Reggie?
He's 3.5.
3.5.
And his mission is to spread brotherhood throughout the world. So we're looking to get a ship so we can sail around to other continents and play music with those people too.
Let's go.
Cool.
There
man.
it is.
I like that.
Represent. All right. Reggie.
Reggie.
All right.
Reggie.
Yeah. Go
Love
Red.
it.
Thanks for coming, bro.
Yeah, let's go, Reggie.
All
Come here,
right,
Reggie.
all
Come on,
right.
man.
Yeah,
Can you
yeah,
jump,
yeah.
Reggie?
Stand up, my boy.
Only on
Hey,
Jason.
Reggie's jacked, though. Reggie looks
He
like
is tough,
he looks
dude.
like a pit wiener.
This lineage is from a famous woman in Round Valley that's bred like
Yeah,
100 of
Reggie.
these dogs.
Oh, really?
If they look like it in Mendocino, chances are it came from her. Dolores, big shout out.
That's a mountain pup.
Dolores.
That's a mountain pup.
Cool little mountain pup.
Word.
You have one more jar, I believe.
Yep, one more jar.
We got one more jar here.
Someday. It's going to stomp me. Respect.
Black runs.
All right, so this is bringing the terp back that a lot of people are chasing.
Thank you.
I got a little tip on the grapevine. The Cherry Belle has been washing some bananas.
Hell yeah.
And I'm like, again,
It's a banana strain.
this
huh?
is Granny's bananas.
Granny's
And it came from an
bananas.
old grandmother.
Oh,
And
okay.
it smells so ridiculous like banana. And then I crossed it with some candied gas. So it's
Smooth.
banana
I
candy.
forget you don't have head.
So what would you say? It's more of an indica, or more sativa?
It's definitely more indica. You gotta smell it. So put it around. Banana pudding is what I call that because it's creamy. It has almost like a cereal milk smell to it.
I like that.
Oh
name.
yeah, it is,
Cereal
it
milk
is chunky.
banana.
It is chunky like indica.
Banana pudding. The kids have gotta like that.
What's the funniest strain name you have came up with?
I don't know. It's not the funniest strain.
Okay.
It brought to mind Rio's puke strain.
Okay.
Rio made a strain that smelled like puke. And I'm like, bro, I didn't even know what happened. It was vulgar. But I'm like, it was a rare terp. It's probably like something that like people would be like, bro, this is like a genetic apothecary.
How was the
okay?
high?
Bro, I didn't
Because
even...
there's some funk. If you out there when you smoke it, it's whoa. This is a really cool high.
I think I bailed on the puke, bro. I like didn't even smoke it to be honest.
That's when you gotta add something else
I am
to it.
on puke terps. But it was
Something.
fucking we're strange, bro. I mean,
On the other hand, there's like a terp that's like a sweaty smell. You know, you want a certain kind
We have a strain called
stink,
Gym Locker. It's like
Gym
smells like
Locker.
sweaty socks or something.
But then when you cross it with the fruit, it was like a perfume. So it's
Strange.
thinking like what, breast sweat.
titty sweat. He makes
That
Breast
was the
sweat.
titty
one
sweat.
that this guy
That's what he was
made.
getting at.
That was the winner.
That's the only
sweat.
one that's worth it.
That titty sweat, huh?
Titty sweat.
That's real.
It
little
smells
smooth
like
terp.
fresh bananas.
So smooth. That's a hybrid though. All hybrids are really smooth. More
Black runs.
indica leaning. I feel like hybrids.
Yeah, it's the depth, the black runs.
Mm-hmm.
A nice cure on that.
I would say I think it's all comes down back.
Oh,
to-
that was
Yo,
nice.
look at that cure. Squeeze it and show 'em.
No, you're
Watch it bounce back.
Yeah. When'd you
Look
harvest
at
that?
Yo, killing it.
When'd
Yo.
you harvest that?
That's about 3 weeks to a month cure. I always, my old man told me I had some talents, but my true talent was in the cure room. And nobody fucked with it but me. And
Listen-
it's,
listen.
I prize myself on the
Yep.
cure. People talk about the best cure room. It's made of cement fucking bricks because you can water them down and you can change the humidity and it really stays locked. But,
Like
you
you
know,
said, the cave,
again,
the guy from Oregon.
The cave.
I did cold cure this year. Instead of 70-55, I did 60-50.
Yeah, that's how you're supposed
And
to do it.
they say you're supposed
Don't
to
rush
hold
it.
it at 60-50
all day.
for as long as it's grown till you harvest it.
Dropping
So if we
gems
do
right now.
9
I don't even want
months,
to post this.
then you cure it for 9 months, and that's back to estate curing. The
Like
old
6
timers-
months.
Yeah.
6 months, your herb hits its peak.
No, and I'm like, why don't we have a cannabis competition with estate aged menus and a cave proper? The wineries know what's up.
Yep.
Shout
There
out
it
to
is.
Third Gen on the cave, man. I got the honor of hanging out in the cave last year at
The Eagle Clash?
the Eagle Clash.
Represent.
Yeah.
Brandon.
Yeah.
Brandon, Third Gen, man. You want to talk about one of the OGs hanging out with that gas station cut?
Ooh.
Shout out to the Skittles crew.
I've yet to even go.
Oh,
but
love those
I
Skittles.
haven't had an invite yet, but I really want to go to the Ego Clash. Yeah, I heard it's this coming December.
7th
Correct.
and 8th.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, I was a vandal last year where I set up my own table. I didn't even have any shit.
So you
I
didn't
had
get an invite? You just
camouflage-
went?
No, I went with a friend who had a spot, but
Okay.
I'm forever invited to this shit.
If
Part
you invite
fam.
us, we get to go.
We could get in the car and we just roll deep. Then it's
Let's
on.
go.
Yeah,
I'll
just
drive.
hop in. No, I have to drive.
You
Why?
were in before the gate was open.
Yeah, I have-
if I remember correctly.
I have.
You got VIP?
I have
I'm for
parked up
sure
front
driving
in
with
the
you.
lightning.
I'm security also. Like I full
Oh,
light,
I got that
lights.
security,
Like
yeah.
nobody messes with security.
All right. Dylan, let's talk about the goat on your neck.
Okay, whew, we're gonna get pretty down and dirty
Come
with
on,
the goat.
light that J. Last
goat.
story of the day.
Yeah, okay.
Tell them
So
about the goat, Dylan.
I had
Yeah,
to
let's go.
earn the goat, and I decided after many perilous years in the white market, branding my product under possibly a false illusion of that you can sell your stuff and your brand and go worldwide to keep us going, and investing for other people who had more money and more power that just used us as their fan for the fire.
The snakes in the grass.
Yeah.
Those corporate
Yeah.
fellers. Huh?
Yeah, huh?
I know where you're going with that. I was living the journey right
Yep.
there with you, player.
And me and Pops grew the business. Started in 2007
Sell out.
with Waska. I made cannabis-infused hemp milk. Was some of the first people to work with fresh frozen way before rosin. My Pops, shout out. And I built a network of 400 dispensaries across the state. I had a distro out of San Francisco and Los Angeles, 6 employees, all paid taxes, paid workman's comp. You know how many people in Mendocino paid workman's comp? Not many. All right, thank you. And that was for cannabis too, which costs like 20 million times everything else. But I
And you
built.
gave free samples to everybody in the family.
Free
Good medicine.
samples.
We all wanted it.
Yeah, I helped.
Handed it out.
I
This
helped.
stuff is good.
That family price.
Bro, I helped
Oh, man.
children. We had CBD lines that were ACDC, helped children with seizures. We helped people sleep at night. We gave relief. We helped people have a good time. Racing to the top, you find yourself at one point scraping the bottom of the barrel. And I went to work and I took over Red Tail Ale and I worked on trying to bring the product forward, and COVID hit. And it started off real well, and then just like all the other cannabis businesses and things changing, that whole model again was put on pause. There was no national distribution, and California's distribution was shot, complicated. And in the midst of that turmoil, things didn't work out for me. I was sick during the end of that with cancer. I went back to my family and to a mission of nothing else but to get healthy. Came back as the new me. I want to encourage everybody that has any illness that we can all do it with the support of your family and your friends, my beautiful wife, my beautiful children, and everyone else. This is my family here. And so to
Yep, the
finish
goat.
off the story of the goat, is that a lot of us who have climbed, like you said, that ladder and made it to that point are sacrificed. Whether you're doing good or you're bad, I can name off countless people that have been sacrificed. After felt like I was sacrificed, I thought I earned this golden goat. So now I wear the goat to represent the hard work and the time that I put in.
Hey, you are a goat.
You earned that
Respect.
goat,
Let's go.
player.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey,
I'm Black Sheep Genetics. There's a couple fakers on Instagram, but find my logo with a white shield and a black sheep. I got seeds for everybody. Hit me up. We'll find a way. Let's go. Let's grow.
hey,
Much love to the plant. Much love to my friends. Much love to One Harvest Podcast for having us all here.
let's go.
And
Hip, hip.
we're changing the future together. Everyone's involved.
One
and,
culture.
And let's do it.
And remember the sacred healing power of this herb and how it moves through the whole planet and how powerful she really is.
Respect.
Absolutely.
The app that I'm on right now mostly is Instagram, and you can hit me up on landconnect.us. That's also my website. I'm into slanging land and pounds. And Cowboy Brand is also on Instagram. Hit us up on either of those and let's chat.
Let's go. One harvest, one love. Peace. Appreciate all of you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, bro.